Hey YouTube, trying to finish up this knife. I didn't want to bore you with all the sanding. I don't know if you caught my other video where I was using this Brazilian cherry. That's how thick it was. So there's been a lot of sanding. I wish if I had a table saw or something I could have cut this in half and really saved myself a lot of work. But anyway, it was that thick, so now it's like this. And I accidentally, it turned out pretty cool. You see the grain, the way I did it, and it was purely by accident, but I was happy with it. I really couldn't see the grain that good until I started sanding it, and it come out like stripes, you know, opposite. Turned out pretty cool. Alright, this was rough sand, and I'm new at this, so they're not perfectly even side to side, but pretty close, pretty close. I got the finger groove cut out, which I just used the drum sander on a drill for that. That's what I cut the blade out with, so when I just went back and matched it up with the wood. And even though I blued it, I knew I was going to hit this metal again to get it even. So I got to go back and put a little bit finer sanding on it. Do a little more shaping. I'm not going to do much more shaping. I'm going to try to even it out a little bit, but I'm not going to try real hard because I don't want to go too far. Hit the blade a couple times with a sander, so I'll try to clean that up. Still got to put an edge on it. And put some oil on this wood. I'm going to do a little more sanding and I'll be right back. So I did put a hollow pin in here so you can put a lanyard on it. And then my two solid bushings. Alright, be right back. Okay, still may do a little final hand sanding just to finish up a little bit. Even though I blued it, I'm going to go back and blue it again anyway, because I done rubbed most of it off. Try to get the scratches out. There's going to be a little bit right in here. I just don't want to take off too much metal. Working on the blade now. Trying to get a little edge that I could go back and I'm trying to get a little bit of edge with the sander, and then I'll go back and finish up with a stone. I'm just barely putting any pressure on it. I'm just really it's just feathering across. I got an edge on it now. Just a little bit of edge right here. Just a little bit of edge right there for a good stabbing, you know. Little cut right there. I don't know if you can see just that little bit right on the edge. I really got a little cut on, and then I'll go back and sharpen that. It's actually got a little bit of a sharpness to it right there. Enough to cut. Just need to be fine-tuned. I don't want to do any more with the belt. That's like a 120 grit belt, so it's only going to go so far. If I had some higher grit belts, I might play with it some more, but pretty even. Okay. Say I may go back. I was using some steel wool to kind of finish polishing the wood a little bit. A nice lick finish. Same on the blade. You can, kind of clean up the blade with the steel wool. Go back and blue it. And I'll give you an idea of what the wood will look like. Again, I'm just using linseed oil. Let's see how that's going to turn out. There's linseed oil. Okay, and it should darken up. This oil usually will get in there and penetrate, and it'll darken the wood up. That's a Brazilian cherry. It's gonna turn out, like I say, I just need to blue the blade, and it ain't gonna have a mirror finish, but semi shiny, not even satin. But that's pretty much it. Okay, I went back, put a couple of coats of blue on it. It's not a professional quality blue finish. This was just a cold blue application. That will just give you a level of rust protectant, and you still got to keep her oiled up, but that'll give you some protection, from rusting. I went back and did this part too. Put another coat of the linseed oil on it. And like I said, you can still see the grain of the wood. Kind of looks like a feather, Is that turning out? Yeah. And that was by accident, but it turned out pretty cool. I'm glad I did that by accident. I wish I could say I did it on purpose, but I didn't. You really couldn't see the wood grain that much until I was, sanding and put the oil and all that on it. And really, when I was sanding it is when it really showed up. And I was like, oh, wow, that turned out pretty cool. So, and this is going to the winner of my, the third place for the VR for Dangity Dang It. He actually did a late entry that morning. I checked it before I went to work, and when I got home that evening, that's when I did the drawing. And he got a knife out of it, and I hope he enjoys it. I enjoyed making it, and I'm going to be making some more. I will admit, man, it ain't perfect, but it is a handmade knife, and I hope you appreciate it. And I hope everybody enjoyed my process of making it. So, anyway, there it is. I'm going to put a little bit of a lanyard. I'm not into the paracord wrap, so I'll probably just do a real simple one. But then I'm going to make a sheath for it. Got to finish. It's got a little bit of edge on it, but I'm going to go back with a stone, put an edge on it. And I'll talk to you later, YouTube.